Are you a perfectionist, or are you actually just insecure? Now, if you identify as a perfectionist, that question probably triggered you. But hear me out, there is a distinct difference. Hello everyone, my name is Tia and I'm a licensed psychotherapist. I make videos that offer tips to improve the relationship with yourself and with other people. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you never miss more tips from a therapist. Today, we're talking about what perfectionism is and what it isn't. To know if you're really a perfectionist, you have to ask yourself two questions. First, am I trying to make something perfect for the benefit of others or for the benefit of myself? Number two, in my pursuit of perfection, how do mistakes feel? Now, perfectionism can be inspired by a worthy cause that we passionately pursue, or perfectionism can just be a tool that we use to protect ourselves and attempt to gain self-esteem. The why motivating the pursuit is what holds the distinction. The first motivation, rooted in insecurity, is using perfectionism as a shield to protect ourselves. Perfectionism can be a symptom of a personality disorder or an underlying part of anxiety or depression, or even develop as a result of trauma. And in this way, perfectionism serves the function of a protective shield. We believe that if we do everything perfectly, we can be protected from our fear of discomfort, judgment, criticism, or failure. Furthermore, if we're perfect, then we never have to rely on anybody else and risk being abandoned, rejected, or let down. The beauty of our perfection can present a pleasing front that we put in front of other people, where we can gain a sense of acceptance and a feeling of being worthy that is not inherently felt without that external proof of perfection. For example, consider a doctor who's intent on curing a disease. Now, if the doctor is using perfectionism as a shield, their motivation is to prove that they're good enough, that they're valuable and a worthy doctor by curing the disease. It's to prove that their crushing student loan debt was a worthwhile investment and maybe their parents can finally be proud of them. However, perfectionism can also be a sword that we use against other people. Calling ourselves a perfectionist and presenting ourselves as one is how we prove that we are better than other people and gain a sense of identity and significance. It feeds our ego and elevates our sense of self-worth. Now, furthermore, if people have traumatized you in the past, you believe that you can't trust anybody and you only have yourself to rely on. So in this instance, perfectionism makes us self-righteous in that insecurity and validates having a competitive or a combative stance with other people. Now, returning to our doctor example, if the doctor is using perfectionism as a sword, their motivation is to be the one who cured the disease when other people couldn't, to name it after themselves, and to be noted in textbooks as exceptional in their field. A real perfectionist, on the other hand, is adaptive and has entirely different motivations. While perfectionists have high standards and pursue their goals relentlessly, they enjoy the challenge because their sense of self-worth isn't on the line. They aren't trying to prove that they're enough or make their success into their identity or demonstrate their superiority over other people. They're simply motivated to see what's possible, motivated to see what they're capable of doing, or motivated to serve others with their contribution. Now, taking that same example of a doctor who intends to cure a disease, a real perfectionist is motivated by the love of medicine and improving the lives of the people that suffer with that disease. Now, we can actually feel the difference between these different motivations. If we're insecure and we use perfectionism as a shield or a sword, mistakes and failures in the pursuit of perfection feel earth-shattering. We feel ashamed and mortified if anybody were to know about those mistakes, and we can be enraged or spiral into a very dark place. For a perfectionist, on the other hand, mistakes and failures along the way may be frustrating and stressful, but they aren't all-consuming because they interpret failure as information and an opportunity to learn and grow along the way. Their security within themselves keeps them grounded and allows them to just stay focused on the goal without their whole sense of self-worth being on the line. Now, the point of this video isn't to call anybody out for being insecure. It's meant to make an important distinction that gives people clarity and power. Now, if you Google perfectionist, you'll get results that list the difference between adaptive perfectionism and maladaptive perfectionism. But I believe that this language is damaging. Perfectionist kind of has a positive connotation to it, which makes it like a very sweet poison. It's not helpful to delude ourselves, and calling ourselves perfectionists when really we're insecure is a harmful lie that enables insecurity to persist and go unaddressed or be addressed in an ineffective way. This is why I differentiate between a real perfectionist and using perfectionism as a defense mechanism. Now, if in the process of this video you realize that your motives are coming from an insecure place, don't be discouraged. This is actually really good news. People whose perfectionism comes from insecurity suffer greatly. You're paralyzed with fear, you procrastinate, your identity is incredibly fragile, and you oscillate between anxiety and depression. Now you have a clear vision of what you're actually dealing with and can forge a path forward towards developing security and confidence instead of just rationalizing your suffering. So if you're looking for a place to get to the root of your insecurity and begin to develop a healthy, secure sense of self, therapy is going to be a great resource for you. Did you find this video helpful? Did it make you see yourself or somebody you know a little bit differently? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, and share with a friend who needs it, and I'll see you in the next one.